Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in the happiest country on earth? For 7 years running, Finland has claimed that top spot. It's a land of stunning natural beauty, northern lights, and thousands of lakes. But behind this idyllic image lies a much darker, more complex story. A story of struggle, loneliness, and a national battle against an epidemic of despair. For decades, Finland has grappled with one of the highest suicide rates in the Western world, a paradox that challenges our very understanding of happiness. How can a nation be both the happiest and one of the most silently suffering? Today, we're going deep into the heart of Finland to uncover the hidden truths behind the headlines. This isn't just a story about statistics. It's a story about people, culture, and the fight for light in the darkest of winters. To understand Finland's struggle, you have to understand its environment. Imagine a winter that lasts for months, where the sun barely rises above the horizon. This relentless darkness isn't just a backdrop. It's a powerful force that can deeply affect the human psyche. This lack of sunlight is a primary trigger for seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, a type of depression linked to the changing seasons. Millions of people worldwide experience it, but in Finland, its effects are amplified. The long, dark days can lead to feelings of lethargy, hopelessness, and profound sadness. But here is a surprising twist. The highest risk for suicide isn't during the darkest days of midwinter. It's in the spring. As the light and energy return to the outside world, it can create a painful disconnect for those still struggling internally. The world is waking up, full of life and promise, but inside, they still feel trapped in winter's grip. This jarring contrast between the vibrant external environment and their internal despair can be overwhelming, making this a particularly dangerous time of year. It's a powerful reminder that the journey out of darkness is rarely a straight line. Now, let's talk about a factor that has historically been intertwined with Finland's suicide crisis: alcohol. For a long time, there was a strong, undeniable link between high alcohol consumption and suicide rates in the country. Alcohol was often used as a way to cope, a tool to numb the pain or suppress emotions that were difficult to express. But as we know, alcohol is a depressant. While it might offer a fleeting sense of escape, it ultimately deepens feelings of sadness and hopelessness, often leading to impulsive and tragic decisions. For many Finns, especially men, drinking became a solitary act, further deepening their isolation rather than fostering connection. This pattern of using alcohol to manage internal turmoil created a vicious cycle, contributing significantly to the high suicide statistics that plagued the nation for years. This brings us to one of the most crucial pieces of the puzzle: Finnish culture itself. There's a concept in Finland known as sisu. It's a word that doesn't have a direct English translation, but it embodies a unique blend of stoicism, resilience, and quiet determination. It's the idea of facing adversity alone, without complaint. On the surface, sisu is an admirable quality. It represents strength and self-reliance. However, this same cultural ideal has a shadow side. It fosters a stiff upper lip mentality, where showing vulnerability or admitting you're struggling is seen as a sign of weakness. In a culture that values keeping your problems to yourself, asking for help becomes incredibly difficult. People feel a deep sense of shame or fear of being a burden to others. This creates a powerful barrier to communication, leaving individuals to battle their demons in silence. Imagine feeling completely overwhelmed, yet believing you have to pretend everything is fine. This internal pressure and profound loneliness, fueled by a cultural expectation of stoicism, has been a major driver of the mental health crisis in Finland. You can be surrounded by people but feel utterly alone, and that isolation can be devastating. When we look at the demographics, a clear and concerning pattern emerges. Men, particularly young men under 35, have been disproportionately affected. They account for roughly 3/4 of all suicides in Finland. This tragic statistic points directly back to the cultural pressures we just discussed. The expectation to be strong, self-reliant, and emotionally reserved falls heavily on men. They are often taught from a young age that boys don't cry, and this conditioning follows them into adulthood, making it incredibly difficult for them to open up about their mental health struggles. They read more likely to turn to alcohol as a coping mechanism and far less likely to seek professional help. However, the story doesn't end there. In recent years, a new and alarming trend has appeared. While men still have a higher rate of completed suicides, there has been a significant increase in suicide attempts and self-harm among young people, especially young women between the ages of 14 and 25. This signals a shift in the crisis. While the core issues of depression and despair remain, they are now manifesting differently across genders and age groups. The pressures of modern life, social media, and academic stress are creating a new wave of mental health challenges for Finland's youth, demanding a new set of solutions. Social isolation is another key factor. Finland is a large country with a small population, much of which is spread out across vast, sparsely populated areas. Especially in more rural regions, loneliness is a very real and tangible part of daily life. This physical distance can easily translate into emotional distance. While modern technology, like the internet and social media, has helped to bridge some of these gaps and connect people in new ways, it's a double-edged sword. Online interactions can sometimes amplify feelings of inadequacy or fail to provide the genuine human connection that people desperately need. Loneliness isn't just about being physically alone. It's about a lack of meaningful connection, and it remains a significant challenge for many Finns. Now, after hearing all this, you might be thinking the situation sounds bleak. But this is where the story takes a remarkable turn. This is a story of hope, resilience, and incredible progress. Faced with a national crisis, Finland didn't surrender to despair. Instead, the country mobilized. In 1990, when suicide rates were at their absolute peak, Finland launched one of the world's first and most comprehensive national suicide prevention programs. This wasn't just a single initiative. It was a massive, multifaceted effort to fundamentally change how the country approached mental health. The government invested heavily in mental health care infrastructure. They made it easier for people to access treatment for depression and other mental health conditions. They trained doctors and healthcare workers to better recognize the warning signs of suicide risk. Critically, they also launched nationwide public awareness campaigns designed to do one thing: break the silence. These campaigns encourage people to talk openly about their feelings, to check in on their friends and family, and to understand that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. They worked tirelessly to dismantle the stigma and shame that had kept so many people suffering in silence for so long. And the results? They were nothing short of astonishing. From its peak in 1990, Finland managed to cut its suicide rate by over 50%. Let me say that again. They halved the rate. This is a monumental achievement and a powerful testament to what is possible when a nation comes together to confront a crisis head-on. They established national crisis hotlines, providing immediate, anonymous support for those in distress. They created support networks and brought the conversation about mental health out of the shadows and into the public square. Finland's journey offers a powerful blueprint for other nations, proving that targeted, compassionate, and sustained action can save lives. Despite this incredible progress, the fight is far from over. Finland's suicide rate, while drastically reduced, is still higher than the average for the European Union. The cultural echoes of Sisu and the challenges of long, dark winters haven't disappeared. The rising mental health issues among young women show that the crisis is evolving, requiring new strategies and continued vigilance. The story of Finland is a powerful reminder that happiness is not the absence of problems, but the resilience and courage to face them. The nation's journey from the depths of a suicide epidemic to becoming a world leader in mental health awareness is a story of hope. It shows that change is possible, that silence can be broken, and that even in the longest, darkest winter, there is always the promise of a new dawn. If you or someone you know is struggling, please remember that you are not alone and help is available. Reaching out is a sign of strength. You can connect with people who can support you by calling or texting 988 in the US and Canada, or by calling 111 in the UK. These services are free, confidential, and available 24/7. Your life matters. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. Stay curious and stay compassionate.